Hello y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Angela Braniff. I'm a mom of 8, and what I want to share with you guys today is a comparison video between the Nissan NV 3500 SL and the Ford Transit 350 XLT. We have had the NV since 2017 and we just got the Transit. Ours is a 2018. So I want to go over some of the differences with you guys, but what I want to say before we go even a moment further is if you're one of those car people and you just stumbled across this video because you saw car names and you're about to come in here and get like all upset that I can't give you like technical things, you might just want to bounce now. This video is for moms, from a mom's perspective, the things that moms care about when it comes to a vehicle: cup holders, car seats, strollers, things like that. So if you're here for the other stuff, you're going to be wildly disappointed. Let's get into it. I'm going to tell you about each of the vans. I want to kind of compare and contrast a couple of things. It's going to be kind of a long video. I'm going to try to do timestamps, but I want it to be thorough. I want to show you guys everything. I'm going to take you through each of them. Buckle up, grab some coffee, tea, whatever you're doing. If it's the evening, maybe you want some wine. If it's morning and you're having wine, you should probably see somebody about that. But we're gonna get into it. Let's talk about it. We'll call this, like, what is that show? Like Chopped, right? Like 2 vans enter, 1 van leaves. This one's the new one. That's the one that's staying. Okay, so we're starting this van comparison in the NV, which is our current big family vehicle. We bought this vehicle in 2017. It is a 2013. And we have 123,000 miles on it. So just looking behind me over my shoulder, you can see we have 3 car seats. You really cannot see out the back of the car hardly at all with the headrests on. Obviously, you really can't see much at all out the back. And the side mirrors, you've got pretty good visibility. I will say that is a bonus, I believe, like in both of these vehicles. You've got big, oversized side view mirrors, and they do telescope out a little bit more, which was fantastic when we were towing. So we're towing our camper. I just want to remind you that I did not clean these vehicles for this video. Otherwise, this video would never get done. Done is better than perfect, right? Right. All right, so here's your screen with your backup camera. If I put this in reverse so that you can see the backup camera, it's pretty good. It's clear enough, you can see. It's certainly not as nice as they are now, but again, remember this is 2013. You've got like a little section here. It doesn't really, your phone is like a little long for it. It will fall out. My phone doesn't fit that way in it either. You've got this weird little hole here that fits nothing, like nothing. I don't even know what that's for, honestly. We do have heated seats, which is fantastic. That's one of the great things about the NV is that you get leather seats pretty easily in these. There's lots of them to be found with leather seats, which means you also can get heated seats. So we just have basic, radio, that kind of thing. And then you've got your 2 cup holders right here. I told you the car was dirty. You've got your 2 cup holders there, 2 cup holders here. What we find is the biggest problem is, one, these are not really big enough to hold many cups. This one you've got bigger on the right, a little smaller on the left. And the problem is that oftentimes, I've got my seat really slid far back, but when you pull up your cup, people hit it on the gear shift all the time and spill drinks. It has happened so many times, and if you're in any of the private NV groups, you will see people talk about it because it just happens so much. We replaced our rear view mirror with an aftermarket one that is very large. As you can see, we did this, excuse me, we did this for towing purposes and stuff when we had the RV. So that is not the standard rear view mirror. And then here you've got your pull down. Our vehicle did not have mirrors, so we added those. Not sure if other years, other models have them, but ours did not. So this is just an Amazon purchase. But you do have a really nice big visor here. And then up here, you've got a little, oh, I guess I have some sunglasses in there. You've got a sunglass holder there. And then this is where you control the AC for the back of the car. That is if you are lucky enough to get an NV where the AC for the back actually works well at all. That is probably the #1 complaint I see amongst other NV families, and it has been one of the biggest problems we've had with this vehicle is getting the airflow to the back of the vehicle cool and consistent and well is just It's a known problem in these. I'll just say that. It's something that a lot of people struggle with. Again, I don't know if any changes have been made. Remember, ours is a 2013, so if you're buying a newer one, things might have gotten better in them. My point is that the AC is the biggest problem in these. To keep kids cool back there is really, really, really tough. And we've replaced the blower, we've replaced a bunch of things trying to make it work better, and it's just been a difficult thing the entire time we've owned this car. The center console right here, it's a big one. That's what she said. I used to have a piece of like the no slip stuff that you put in your, like under your sink or in drawers. I had a big piece of that here so that I could set my phone down and it wouldn't slide all over. My husband's been driving this vehicle a lot, so a lot of the things that I used to have in here or do or whatever are no longer in existence. But this is very slick, so if you put anything on it, it's going to slide over. So you're going to want to put something grippy there. Now, it does hold like almost a human body, okay? You could almost just carry a person around in here, though I wouldn't advise it. Like I said, it's got a lot of space in here. We've got a heated blanket. This is a blanket that you plug into the outlet thing over there, and it heats up. We've got a baby carrier. But I don't know if you can see that, but right there, you probably can't, but right there you have a regular like 9-volt, is that what it's called? I'm such a ding dong. A regular outlet, a regular plug-in outlet. In cars, you're usually dealing with these that look like for old cigarette lighters, but they are, you know, where you have to get like converters and stuff. This is just a regular outlet like you would see in your house right in here, which is surprisingly helpful and great. So this is very deep. It holds, there's a license plate standing straight up, so you can see it's deep. It holds quite a bit. I don't know why my husband has all of the shoulder straps for the kids' car seats here right now, but you've got your cup holders like I showed you, and then you've just got this kind of pocket here, which is weird because really, I don't know what exactly you would put in there because it's kind of hard to get things out of it, and it kind of tucks under, so who knows? We never really use that for anything. Apparently he's using it currently for car seat strap covers or whatever. Who knows? Again, you've got your glove box here, just a regular kind of size glove box, nothing incredible, not too small, not too big, just right, the Goldilocks of glove box, if you will. All right, let's hop into the back. One of the biggest differences between the NV and the Transit, and one of the things I want to be sure that I point out very clearly and try to show you with my physical person, is the difference in the size of the vehicle inside. Once you're in it, your ability to walk in it and around in it. I'm currently standing on the step board. My brain isn't functioning well, so I'm going to use incorrect words for things. If you're a car person, it's going to irritate you. I'm sorry, I can't help it, okay? The running board. I'm standing on this running board that we added after the fact to ours, by the way. So I'm not even inside the vehicle yet, and my head is already right there, as you can see. I'm 5'8". Now I'm standing on the first step inside the car, and then once you get inside the car, I can't even like kind of hunch or whatever. So that just gives you a little bit of an idea of if you're trying to walk through here, it's a bit tough if you're trying to get to the back. All right, so right here in the first row, we have 3 car seats, 3 forward-facing car seats going across. These are Diano Radian R, yeah, and they actually say 3 across. They're meant to fit across a regular seat where you can fit 3, so they're very slimline car seats. But you know, we don't have any rear-facing kids right now. When we had our twins, we had a rear face, and nothing in between here. An older kid would sit here. The most that I would ever do is like a booster seat, maybe, but even then we never really did that. So we've got 3 seats here, the next row is 3, and the last row is 4. In this next row, this is technically, I guess this would be the 3rd row of the car, but you've got the driver, the first row of kids is how I look at it. It's the 2nd row of kids. You have 3 seats here. This one is an individual seat and can come out, and this is a bench. So that's how it is here, is an individual, and then the 2 are together, 2 are together. As far as like tethers and stuff go for car seats, this has a tether. this has a tether on the back right here in that first row, just so you guys have an idea of like car seat situations, what you can fit, how you can get them in. Again, like I said, this is a double seat and a single seat. We just have kids in boosters here now. You do also, as far as air goes, you have 2 vents over this first row of kids, 2 vents over the second row of kids, and 2 vents over the third row of kids. Whether or not those vents actually push any air is a different story. All right, I'm attempting to show you back here into the third row. Hopefully you guys can, you can't see it well because I'm using a tripod, so we're just gonna have to deal with our problems that we've got here. But we've got a car seat here and then none across the back here. These seats are split up by 2 and 2. If you want to remove some, again, if you're not filling up all these seats, you may want to remove some. Same thing here, this seat. So now you're looking at the third row of the vehicle or the second row of kids. You've got a tether on this one, a tether on this one. Again, a single seat, double seats. So the easiest way to think about it is in every row, the kid that's closest to the window behind the driver, there's no tethers there. In the middle and in the ones that are closest to the sliding door, there's tethers there. Yeah, these seats do reconfigure. There's some different places where you can actually install them. So you do have a little bit of flexibility with that. And like I said, I'm 5'8" and I can sit back here in one of these seats fine. It is cramped. It's always going to be cramped inside a passenger vehicle. These are like the people movers, you know, they're really not built for comfort, but they're not terribly uncomfortable. I will say that, and you can fit. I've got headroom back here, but it's tight, especially if you were to actually have 4 kids across this row. It would be real tight. Okay, so you do have 2 cup holders on the very last row. They come out from underneath the seats. For each pair of seats, there is 1 cup holder. One here, and I don't know if you can see it, but one down there. So you do get cup holders in the very last row, but it slides out from under the seat. I'm not sure that a kid in a car seat, really of any kind, or a booster seat, would be able to reach down there and actually use that. There are 2 in each row, I believe. There's 2 in that row, and then when we get to the second row of kids or the third row of the car, there's 2 more there, and then there are cup holders in that little square opening in the door, and then you have 2 more of those cup holders there. But I will be honest with you, if you have a kid in a car seat or in a booster seat, I'm not sure that they would actually be able to reach anything in those cup holders. It would be a bit of a challenge, but you do have them in the rows. They're just not on the sides near the windows or anything. This is the running board that we added, aftermarket running board that's nice and long and durable for our kids, because as you can see, this plastic that's right here where they step on, our kids have already broken this little area here. When you step on it, it is just plastic. So that has already broken, but we added this aftermarket. As far as the door goes, I do want to show you, because I know that this matters for us moms with little kids. The younger your kids are, the harder it can be for them to deal with these doors. This is a heavy door. You have to kind of pull out and slam it, okay? It's a little easier to open, but it is heavy. I mean, I can't tell you how many pounds of pressure it takes. From the inside, there's a little lever you have to push down to be able to do that. And from the inside of the vehicle, I will say they have to kind of be able to reach around, grab it, and then really push. It can be tougher for smaller kids to do that. I will say, if you're expecting you to jump in the driver's seat and maybe your 7-year-old to be able to jump back here and close this, I'd say it depends on how strong your 7-year-old is. It's always been our older 2 girls that pretty much handle trying to close this door from the inside. It's heavy. That's what I want to say. It's heavy. It's not an auto slide door. If you're coming from a minivan, there are minivan features you're going to miss when you move to something like an NV. And I want to be sure to point some of those things out to you guys because I do think it's important to understand. I told you I wasn't going to get too technical on you, mostly because I don't know a lot of technical stuff about cars. But what I can tell you is that it's important to remember if you're moving up to an NV from something like a minivan, something like a Honda Odyssey or whatever, it's important to remember that the NV 3500 is essentially think of like a 3500 truck. Okay, it is built on a truck chassis, not a van chassis, which means it drives like a truck, it rides like a truck, and a lot of the things about it are more industrial. You know, I used to have this running joke with my friends when I bought this car that when I showed up at your house and parked outside, you didn't know if I was there for a play date or to fix your refrigerator. And this thing can tow. That's, again, one of the things we loved about it, and one of the reasons that we chose to go with this is because of its towing capacity. And all of that comes from that engine and the fact that it's basically a passenger truck. It's a little deceiving that we call it a passenger van because it is like a passenger truck, I would say. It also gets gas mileage like a passenger truck. Don't forget that. I will tell you, there's a couple things that I really like about the NV. The way that the doors open and they extend open. So when you pull it out like this, it opens, stops right there on its own. But then if you want to be able to open this door all the way, you just have a little thing right here, you pull and then push the door and it comes all the way around like that. Can you see that? Like, you can really fit some stuff in here, okay? And then you've just got this little lever like that you push to open the opposite side door. I don't think I need to show you. The opposite side door does the same thing. If you push that little button and push the door, it opens up all the way around. Now, with this van, again, one of the problems is you ain't got no trunk space. Okay, this is like one of the big complaints with the NV for families is as far as being able to, like from the bottom area here, I would say you've probably got, I don't know, about, without a ruler, I'd say about 12 inches. Remember, I'm a woman doing that measurement, not a man, so you can pretty accurately, 12 inches, I know 12 inches when I see it. Now, at the top though, the seats angle back a little bit. So I'm telling you that to tell you that if you're planning on putting a stroller in here, you have more space at the bottom than you do at the top. So wheels are gonna have to go at the bottom. But if you've got like double strollers, big things like that, it's not gonna easily fit back here. If you don't have so many kids that you need to fill this thing up as far as the seats go, then I would highly recommend taking out one of these sides, one of these two seats. Obviously, or maybe not obviously, it would make sense to take out these behind the driver because that's the side that people would walk to get into the car, so you want them to be able to get to their seats here. But if you took out these, then you could fit a lot more in terms of groceries, strollers, that kind of thing. You could fit umbrella strollers back here pretty easily, but as far as like some of the larger like jogging strollers, that kind of thing, is a little tougher. I wanted to show you that because it is a big deal if you're moving up to this again from a minivan. You're not low to the ground. It is kind of nice to change diapers because you are a lot more level. You don't have to bend over as much if you're laying a baby down to change a diaper back here. But as far as keeping groceries, I always kept a big like canvas tote back here for organization to keep extra diapers, wipes, things like that, change of clothes, blankets, that kind of thing back here. And then also like a canvas tote that I could put grocery bags in because they will just slide right on under. Hopefully y'all can see we've got our towing hitch back here. And so that is one of the reasons that we really like the NV, and a reason that a lot of people choose the NV, like I said before. And it has towing capacity. I don't quote me on it, but I want to say it's like 7,500 pounds is the towing capacity. Again, I will put in the description box the weight and the name of the camper that we had, because we had like a 31-foot trailer that we had for our family that we were able to tow with this. So that's the really great thing about the NV, is if you are a camping family, traveling family, and you want something that can tow a camper for you, this baby's gonna do it. One more thing to add is that the gas tank is behind the driver's side on this vehicle, just above the back tire on the driver's side, because I'm gonna point out to you where it is on the Transit because it's in a different spot there. But on the NV, driver's side, behind the back rear, in front of the back rear tire. You know what I'm saying, it's right here. All right, with the Transit, let's just start. You can probably already hear that it's quieter. The Transit is not like a truck. It is more like a van. It's going to drive more like a minivan, not exactly because it's a boat, but it's going to feel more like driving a van. It's going to drive like a van and feel like a van when you're on the inside. The gas tank on this, crazily enough, is actually right here by the driver's door. You open the driver's door and your gas tank is actually right there. I also like that this has the easy fuel where you don't have to unscrew something. On the NV, you do have to unscrew the cap. This one, there's no cap. It's got the little pop thing, so you just put the nozzle in, and when you pull it out, the thing closes. You know, fantastic, right? Gosh, I'm gonna avoid all of the inappropriate childish jokes. Okay, all right, similar to the NV, you've got your obviously passenger door, you've got your sliding door. I'm gonna show you the effort it takes. I feel like this is kind of weird to try to explain this to y'all, because again, you can't like scientifically understand how many pounds, but I just popped it like that. It's about the same. I mean, maybe a smidge lighter. I feel like I'm like babying it now, but it's like about the same, maybe a smidge lighter to open this door. When we get inside, I'll show you how you close it from the inside. I think it is a little bit easier. Like I said, in the NV, you've got the handle and the thing you have to push down with your thumb. Here, it's more like a full thing that you pull. But we've got running boards on this one. Again, these are aftermarket as I understand it. My sister's doesn't have these, and she was jealous that mine did. I'm like, who knew somebody would be jealous of my running boards, you know? The stuff you get excited about when you're old. Probably shouldn't have worn sweatpants for this video either. I didn't really think about the fact. I thought I'd be filming from the waist up. Running boards for stepping. Now remember, let me back up and lift the camera so I can show you the height. Remember on the NV that my back was crouched. So, can't, whoop, clear the top. So it's actually, once I step inside the vehicle, I just have to hunch a little bit. And then once you actually get inside, I can almost stand up. That's the most amazing part. Moms or dads, whatever, I'm not here to judge. If you are getting to the back, trying to get to kids, pass out snacks, do things, move about the cabin. When the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign and you're allowed to move about the cabin, y'all, you can move about the cabin in this van. Obviously, I do not have car seats installed in here because you just saw them in the other car. All right, so I'm kind of standing in between the driver's and the passenger seat, which is amazing that I can almost stand. Look at the height there, baby. Yeah, it's amazing. You've got 3 seats here. These appear to all be connected. I do not believe you can take out any of these individually. These are 3 connected seats. You've got a cup holder right there. You also have a floor vent for air. I don't know if you can see that under there. You've got a floor vent. One of the other things I really love about the Transit is that ours has the, I can't remember what it's called now, but the non-carpet flooring. Like basically you can take the seats out of this thing and hose it down with a pressure washer. Y'all know how much I love to use a pressure washer, and I can actually use it to clean out the car instead of having carpet. There's all kinds of aftermarket things you can do with the NV as well, but I just like that that's how this is. There is no carpet on the floor, and I freaking love it. Okay, hand rest there. We'll get to the front. We're doing this kind of out of order, sorry. When you get to this next row, we've got a single seat here, 2 seats there, another cup holder over there. Ooh, look, my box from my trip to Sam's Club. You've also got vents above kids' heads or people's heads, whatever, in the back here. Again, let me just show you where we're at. Driver, passenger, first row of 3, second row of 2 and 1. And then if we turn around, another row of 2, 1, 4 across the back. So this is a 15 passenger, cup holder there, cup holder there. I think this is the only seat without a cup holder. Remember how I told you the NV has like the handle and you have to push down? This is just Yeah, there you go. This is just like a little one you push. It's hard to do and film. Seems like it's closed. Still heavy, y'all. Still heavy, okay? Still hard for kids. I am basically standing straight up right now. I mean, I'm a teeny bit hunched, like if I didn't want to ruin the top of my hair. If you jack your hair up to Jesus, maybe you can't stand up in here, but I can pretty much stand up in here, which is amazing. The air conditioning and works amazing in here, so you get tons of airflow back here. Again, 4 seats here. Did I show you? Cup holder there. Cup holder on this side as well. Now, the one that we rented had USB outlets, but this one doesn't. There are things like that that you can get in these, but the market right now is you take what you can get. At least that's what we have seen. So we've got a little 12 volt there. But I don't believe there are any other ones. This is a good view to show you kind of the front where the driver and passenger are. You've got this overhead. This is the mid roof again. So you've got this like overhang thing that you can put like grippy stuff down on, so you can store things up there. Walk around here and I'll just have a seat in the driver's seat and we'll go over what's up here. I knew there was going to be things I forgot to mention. I wanted to mention that in the NV, all of our seats were electric moving, whatever, automatic, is that the word I'm looking for? You just push the little button and they slide forward, back, up, down, all of that. These are not, these are manual sliding seats for the driver and the passenger. The seats in ours are cloth. I do believe if you want to order leather, you can obviously find some with leather. It's a lot harder though. I did look a lot. It's a lot harder to find one with leather seats. Trust me, I would have loved to have had leather seats, but it's harder to find. Now, if you go to the Ford dealership and order a brand new one, last I heard, it's like a 2-year wait to get them. But if you go that route, if you've got the time, then I think you can order leather seats. There's all kinds of upgrades to these, but ours is pretty basic, and I don't care. The mid-roof, the ability to walk through this car, the car seats, the seat configuration options, all of that is just such a huge selling point for me, as well as the front here. So I'm going to show you a couple of things up here. Again, ours is older. It's got, it doesn't have a bunch of upgrades. So you've got a quite small screen there for the backup camera, and the backup camera itself is pretty darn fuzzy. I don't know if you can see that. I can see enough, but it's not great. I don't love that. I don't love the backup camera. But what I do love is, like I said, the overhead storage area above me here. These are your heat and air controls for the back of the van. You've got 2 cup holders right there. And if you scan across, you've got a cup holder right there. You've got another one here. And then if you had like a big water bottle type thing, you could totally fit it in there. So you got a lot of options, Mom, for places to put your drinks, because moms have drinks, okay? We got a lot of drinks. Now, again, ours is not super upgraded or anything, so we've just got the little, audio jack right there, and then you've got a little 12 volt here, another 12 volt here, a locking glove box, another one of those big water bottle holders, another cup holder right there in the door. It's all kind of the same on the passenger side as it is on the driver's side. These are the kind that go down, click, click. You can make it how you want for your armrest there. Completely open, so you can just walk your happy butt right to the back. I don't know if you're back there scolding kids, changing diapers. I'm not judging you. Whatever you're doing though, it can easily be done by just walking through your little aisle here and getting to the back. Amazing! A very large visor. This one does come with a flip-up mirror with lights, which the NV didn't. It kind of surprises me, to be honest. Again, same thing. You've got your side mirrors that are huge. They extend very far out. You have very good visibility in this. You can see, you don't really have hardly any blind spots in this. I can see a little bit out the back because the back window, I don't know how well you can see this, the back window is taller because this car is taller. So I can see out the back a little bit better, but once you've got people sitting in there, you're still not going to have great visibility out the back. It's so cold, my nose is running, I'm sorry. You have such great visibility out the side mirrors that you really just don't have blind spots in this, in the mid-roof. Again, I'm scared to, I'm not speaking for all Transits. I am only speaking for this model and model year of Transit. The Transit 350 XLT 15 passenger. There's just not a ton of like bells and whistles. Again, this car is about the space, the ease of driving it. It is easy to get in and out of. It is easy to drive. Like I said, if you're coming from a minivan, this drives a lot more like a minivan and what you are used to. You're long, baby, you're long. But you'll probably catch some curbs figuring that part out, but it's actually not as hard to drive as you would think. You know, there's so much that I love about the NV. I personally loved that it drove like a truck. It's loud. It's kind of got that like louder engine, the deeper growl, that deeper growl to the engine. And I really loved it, but I know that not every female, not every woman does. Some prefer a quieter vehicle that's, you know, whatever. Either way, you're going to draw attention driving around in one of these two because it's a people mover. You know, if you pull up and start unloading kids out of the side of either one of these cars, people are going to be staring at you. I can promise you that. The radio here in the middle, just, you know, again, typical radio, nothing fancy, no bells or whistles there. Your shifter is here. It is out of the way. It is not on the steering column. It is here. So it's kind of out of your way if you do put cups here. You could put an organizer here as well if you weren't so worried about being able to walk back through here. You could put an organizer or a movable one here. Again, I really like the material that this is all just like washable basically. Like I could spray this thing out with a hose. I do love that. And the other thing I will say, it's kind of hard to visualize, you know, in this video. Your windshield is massive in this. And with your side view, like with your actual mirrors, you know, here, or your windows here, not mirrors, but your windows here, you just have, you feel like you can see the whole open sky in this thing, okay? When you're driving, if your visor's up and you've got, it just is like you can see everything. It's like a 360 drive. There's just not many blind spots in this, and I do really love that. Let's see, you've got a little pocket there in the door. You could just set your phone in if you want to. Doesn't like fit all the way in it sideways. You could set your phone down there if you wanted to. You could set your phone right there in the middle. Right there, whatever, okay? Whatever, you got lots of space. All right, let's go to the back, I'll show you that. All right, hopefully you can see just from like my height right here by the back how much taller the Transit is than the NV. Opens very similarly, okay? Got a little latch on this side that you push to open the other side. Now, I have yet to figure out if there is a way to extend the doors all the way open, like with the NV. There's nothing that's obvious to me. I'll let you know. Hopefully I've included it in the video somewhere. I'll let you know if you can do that and I'm just missing it. But either way, you got good clearance when the doors are open. Same thing though, okay? Same thing as the NV as far as like zero, in fact, even less trunk space in this if you keep all 15 seats in it. If you need to use all 15 seats, you're not going to have much trunk space, if any. I don't know. You might be able to fit like an umbrella stroller on its side here, but you certainly couldn't fit any kind of like double stroller jogger, anything big back here with all 15 seats, okay? That's part of the reason we chose this one, the 350 XLT with 15 seats, is because that means that we can actually take out this row or some of these seats and have plenty of space. And that's what we did when we rented one for our trip for Florida, is we took out, I think we left one seat back here, and then we had an enormous amount of space for stuff. I would guess probably 3.5 or 4 feet of space if once you take this out, to be able to, you know, keep strollers, luggage. We always keep like our little toddler potty with us, so if any kids need to use the bathroom and we're an inconvenient place to go to the bathroom, we've got a toilet in the back that everybody can use. But I did want to point that out, that you have just as little space back here as you do in the NV if you intend to keep all the seats in it. Maybe I can give you guys a better look at how tall. No, I need to show you. All right, hopefully y'all can see me. I'm creeping in on you. I want you to see. So I'm gonna close this door. I want you guys to see that I can step into the car. I've got, like, if I try to stand up completely straight, I can't. But if I just pop one hip out, okay? Who stands completely straight? Nobody. If I just pop one hip out, then I can stand and be able to walk back here, deal with children, break up fights, pass out snacks. So much room for activities in here, okay? Oh, I could sing Celine Dion. I could do a dance moves. There's just so much space. This is why we wanted, okay, maybe not for me to dance and do karate moves, but that's the space is why we really wanted this, because we've got 3 boys, 2 of which are off the charts for height and weight, likely to be, according to one doctor, our one son has a chance of being like 6'7", okay, 6'6", 6'7". We're gonna have some big boys. My husband's only 5'8". He's a tiny little man. He's my tiny little elf king. Our boys are adopted, in case that's not clear. But the point is, Vanessa, that there's so much space in this car, and we wanted our boys to be able to be comfortable, our family to be able to be comfortable. That's why this change made sense for us. I wanted to make this video so that you could see the difference between the Transit and the NV and decide for your family which features matter to you the most. If you need towing capacity, this ain't it. The NV is what you need if you want to tow something. If towing and traveling with a camper matters to your family, you need the NV. I would say for sure 8 or more kids, and you don't need to tow, this may absolutely be the better way to go long term. All right, y'all, that is it for this comparison video. I hope that you found it helpful. I just really wanted to share what we've learned over the years as owners of an NV since 2017, and now having a Transit. I'm sure there's things that I missed, so leave your questions down below in the comments. Not only myself, but I'm certain that there are many of y'all who drive either an NV or a Transit and could also chime in and answer questions. I'm certain that there's things I completely overlooked, but that is it for this comparison video. I hope y'all found it helpful. Be sure to subscribe if you've not already, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.